dare you trespass here?
You make for a perfect sacrifice! You make for a perfect sacrifice!
How dare you trespass here?
You make for a perfect sacrifice! You make for a perfect sacrifice! You make for a perfect sacrifice!
How dare you trespass here?
Make you regret coming here!
Lineage 2 is hard to level up in? Nonsense! Let me show you how easy it is to get to level 85.
Each have interesting things.
I didn't recognize anyone. Darth is in here somewhere.
Now, at the end of each floor, you'll get the ability to pick from various different...
I saw him. I saw him. I got him. There he is. Found him. There. Let's see. Darth. Found you.
Path of Exile 2 is an isometric, loot-based action role-playing game developed by the New Zealand game development studio Grinding Gear Games, hell-bent on evolving the entire action RPG genre, not only dominating the competition, but themselves as well, as they run another ARPG, Path of Exile 1. There was a ton packed into that opening, and as a new Path of Exile 2 player, you likely have a bunch of questions about the basics of the game itself. What do I do in the game? Is it right for me? Is it worth investing time into? Can I pick up and drop it with ease? What happened to the first one? And many more. I plan to answer those first 5 in today's video, the first in a series breaking down Path of Exile 2 as clearly as possible for new and beginning players in as concise and simple a manner as I can, during the lead up to PoE2's early access period and during the long stretch of early access itself. These are not meant to solve the game for you, but help you further enjoy your lovely journey on the Path of Exile. But first of all, welcome to the Path of Exile community, my fellow exile. I'm so glad to have you here. Let's delve on in. What do you do in the game? The primary objectives in Path of Exile 2 are twofold: killing monsters and getting more powerful as a result of slaying those monsters. Monsters come in hundreds of different shapes and sizes. Path of Exile 2 boasts more than 450 unique monsters when including its 50+ large-scale bosses at its early access launch. Rewards mirror this monster variety. You gain levels to spend points in a huge passive skill tree, obtain skills in the form of gems, which you can upgrade in meaningful and interesting ways, and, most diverse of all, you find tons and tons of loot. Items varying in rarity from common to unique. Some basic but powerful, others wacky and iconic. 2 other systems evolve on the former and latter ideas. During the campaign, you ascend and gain access to a special skill tree called an Ascendancy. This transforms the way your character plays, feels, and talks in the game world. Each of the 6 classes on early access launch starts with 2 Ascendancies. Then, with items, you can craft, mostly in a deterministic manner, which is a huge step away from Path of Exile 1's mostly RNG-based crafting methods. Everyone starts in the campaign, wherein you progress from zone to zone in Act 1 to Act 3, battling packs of monsters and enormous bosses, all while either diving deep into the lore like some of us, or blasting past it at breakneck speed. Once you finish the campaign a single time, you complete it again on a new Game Plus difficulty. This is called Cruel difficulty. After, you enter the Epilogue, also called the End Game, wherein you partake in a system of exploring a vast atlas of biomes, encountering varied mechanics and downing revamped bosses from the campaign, alongside new bosses as well. On top of the atlas, there are also other systems here for you to explore. As the game matures, the End Game will receive a ridiculous number of permanent additions and updates. Additionally, the final campaign will contain 6 acts, not 3, and you will not need to repeat the acts once all 6 acts are out. Succinctly, throughout Path of Exile 2, you are primarily focused on growing the power of your character, be it through clever use of game mechanics and paths through the skill tree, comboing terrific skills together, honing your gear to be the best it can be, and discovering wild interactions no one's ever thought of before. The skill systems are deep. The moment-to-moment gameplay is engaging. The item loop is addictive. The game can be daunting, so is it right for you? Path of Exile 2 is not designed to be a game for everyone. It is meant to be a niche game for a niche audience who will absolutely adore it. However, thanks to its system design and game philosophies, it sets itself up to turn people who may not be in the target audience into someone who becomes an avid player and supporter of the game quite quickly. The developers care greatly about their players. Assuming that won't be you though, and you'd like to be gripped from the moment you load into the first area, what should you know about it to know you'll become a long-time player? It's always online. It's hard. It rewards knowledge as much as skill. It's all soloable. It's deep and complex. It's season-based. It's dark and gritty. It's for mature audiences. It can be played with a mouse and keyboard and or a controller, and on PC, Xbox, and PS5, and eventually Mac. It's cross everything, play, and progression. Its music is legendary. Knowing all of this, if you like the sound of it, you must be asking the next simple, logical question. Is it worth investing time into? This is where we must veer into the record of Path of Exile 2's developer, Grinding Gear Games, and the depth intrinsic to the games they create. First, Path of Exile 2 is around for the long haul. Their first game, Path of Exile 1, opened up to the general public in 2011 with closed and open betas, with a full release in October 2013. Ever since, it has received constant content.
I-a făcut locuin și l-a plecat de 4 serveri pentru PA2 și a zis să-i dea link-ul cineva să se ducă direct pe pagină să vadă dacă are acces. Și i-a dat link-ul unde se vedea kill-urile în plus și s-a văzut pe Twitch. I-au furat cheile. Yo! Îi live acum. Pe. Acum au fost faza, acum.
Don't watch him.
Acum vreo 15 minute.
Don't watch him. That was saying don't watch. No, no, wrong. It's a vocal minority. And it is like this weird, I don't know what you want to call it. You need to because I naturally, my brain says, huh, this guy, he's not even playing Pee-wee every league. He's got 10,000 hours of Pee-wee. Who is this guy, right? And then I'm like, wait a minute. That's a good thing, bro. Then you've got to override that. You got to go, dude, press some buttons, reprogram. That's a good thing. You want new players. You want people who don't play the game very often to be hyped about the game.
Mai are unul, cred că face giveaway de seară, dar i-au furat 3 din ele.
Bro. So like don't attack new people, bro. Don't attack new people. That's stupid. Don't attack some guy who's like making like 20 videos about PoE 2, who's basically played PoE 2 for a little bit, right? It doesn't matter. That's still good for PoE. That's good for PoE. You're attacking. I'm not attacking him. I'm watching this video, dude, and people are complaining it. Now, don't complain is what I'm saying. Okay? This is cool. Now, the video is shit. I will stop watching it, but I don't think it'll be shit because Josh is just fucking, he's an entertaining guy.
System that you can do during the campaign.
Like, what I'm saying is don't gatekeep. Do the opposite. Don't gatekeep. Do the opposite. Get these guys and try to drag them in closer. You want them to become PoE addicts. Try get these guys and pull them in. Like, it's the opposite of gatekeeping. Don't be like, you don't even play PoE. Oh my God, Esmongold's only got 3,000 hours. Esmongold's only got 3,000 hours. Oh, he's fucking shit. He's a noob. He doesn't even play the game. 3,000, that's nothing, bro. That's only 3,000. Like, don't do that. Be like, holy shit, dude. He's got 3,000 hours. That's sick, bro. And he's gonna play PoE 2. That's pog, bro. That's fucking pog. That's sick. That's, all right. But don't get me wrong. I understand where you're coming from. Instinctively, I don't know. It's a human bias. I don't know what the bias is. But it's like some sort of tribal thing. There's instantly where you got your people in your tribe and you know who's in your tribe, right? And and what it is like, this is my tribe. These are my people, right? Who are these guys? Who is this outsider? You're scared of the outsiders. That's what it is. You're afraid of the outsiders. And you need to override that, bro. Okay? You need to override that.
Ascension. Ascension in Path of Exile 2 requires completion of one of the great trials, which you'll find as you progress through the campaign.
Ritual altars are sacrificial sites built by the mysterious king in the mists. If you encounter this symbol on the atlas, then you know that the area contains ritual altars. Some maps have been touched by insanity. A mysterious entity has taken a special interest in you. Step through the looking glass and you will find your nightmares coming to life.
Here it comes.
When you touch a mirror, the mists of delirium will spread out across the area, infecting your mind. You must stay within the mist to maintain the nightmare, which is as profitable as it is
He wants to pause, but he can't, bro.
Everything you kill will increase
I know where he's
the
coming from.
rewards that drop.
He wants
However,
to pause.
The deeper into the mist you travel...
If you've never played Path of Exile before, you need to understand that grinding gear games do not know how to stop making a game.
Distilled emotions can also be used to instill your endgame maps, applying Delirious to them and adding additional difficulty and rewards, allowing you to further juice your endgame maps. The tablets you can find from Deliria can be used to further improve it, increase pack size, make the fog dissipate slower, or improve your progress towards the
I think Grinding Gear Games heard players complaining that games didn't launch with endgame content, and they took that very personally.
Next up, we have Expedition. Occasionally, while clearing corruption, you will encounter these Kalguran settlers.
Okay.
The Kalgurans have discovered ancient burial
Alright, wait, we're gonna get to the part where he
Challenges
talks
for PoE
about
2.
pay to win.
As you can see, this project is crazy huge.
Let's hear it.
Way bigger than even we expected when we started out. But how do you gain access? Well, during early access, you'll need a key to get in. To thank our existing PoE supporters who have spent more than $480 US, we'll be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free. Anyone else who wants one can get one by purchasing one of the new early access supporter packs that have just been released to the store. If you just
Bro,
want
when's he
early
gonna talk
access
about being
to
paid to
PoE
win?
2,
Oh, he's about to
then
talk.
you can get a
He's about
key
to talk.
in the
He's about to
$30 early access pack. The pack also comes with $30 of points to spend in the MTX store.
Oh, nice.
But we also have a variety of other supporter packs filled
Deci
with
zde
exclusive
și-
microtransactions,
zde și
points to spend in
MTX
the store,
pentru aia.
and even physical items. The
I don't know,
cosmetics
get
can be
clickbaited.
used
He's
right
about to
now
talk
in
about
PoE
it.
1 and in Path of Exile 2 when early access starts. Most of this footage has been recorded in Path of Exile 1, since that's where you can use them immediately.
For those of you who haven't played Path of Exile 1, I wouldn't say that it's pay to win. You can definitely gain an advantage by having more bank slots, but you can complete all of the main game up to end game without needing to pay anything. And they're one of the few games and the few companies that I would feel completely justified giving money to based on the amount of hours I played the game for.
Also
Do remember,
contain-
if this is intimidating you, you don't need any of this. I've played for hundreds of hours, and I think I've spent 20 quid, if that, to get some bank expansions. But you didn't even need those. I was just lazy and didn't want to throw things away. So
Yep.
all of these
Good take.
cosmetics, all these overrides,
Good take. Good take.
they're not mechanical advantages. You won't need them. You can play this game for hundreds of hours. If it was genuinely pay to win, it would have died years ago.
Yeah,
People get annoyed at me that I defend Path of Exile for the way that it monetizes itself, but I think it's the most fair way of doing it while still paying back the massive cost it took to make it. Consider it like this: if you don't need a bank expansion,
a part of me though is like, why are they doing like crowdfunding style fucking donation drive whenever they are super successful? Like, why do they allow you to spend so much money? Because that to me seems a little bit. There's definitely a little bit of because you know the whale's got to buy it, right? You know the whale's got to buy it. They don't want to miss out. There's like a whole FOMO element. I don't know. To me, the fucking Giga Supporter Pack thing, entirely optional, but I feel like it is still slightly like, bro, come on, like, top pack be like $200 or something, like $480, dog. I'm buying because the whale's gonna buy it, bro. It's just logic. So like there's like a FOMO part of your brain. This thing's going away forever. You can only get it this one time, and they literally every single time they warn you like 5 times. It's going away forever. It's going away forever. It's going away forever. They keep saying this. Like, they will say it a lot. And this is your last chance. $480. It seems okay. I've spent the most money out of any game. Well, actually, do you know what? It's because I'm a streamer, though. Like, shouldn't there be a limit? It'd be like streamers who donate super large donations out of one person. It's like, you know, you shouldn't do that. It's really bad. That's why most streamers will, like, you know, think it's super cringe if you're donating a bunch of money to, like, one guy. They're going, like, crazy, right? Like, it's gonna be, you know. And people are even putting limits on donors they can take. They're putting limits on donors they can take. What I'm trying to say is, I get the founder tier pack things at the beginning, the crowdfunding pack things at the beginning, where, you know, we are starting up a business and you need lots of capital to get going and get the game engine up and running. But the thing is, they are super successful at this point, and they obviously have to make tons of money. And most people don't buy those super packs, but like they are. There's no doubt the big dick packs. They are kind of exploiting the big whales quite hard because they have to buy it. They cannot not do it. They will always buy. There is going to be a group of people who always buy the most expensive pack. Good, fuck them. Well, it's just slightly predatory is what I'm saying. It is slightly. It is. Just like when PoE put in straight up loot boxes with full RNG in them. That was very predatory. Like, GGG have done predatory shit in the past. With with the old loot boxes before it was fully deterministic, those were like sus. They put them in the game and, you know, you could open a box 1,000 times and not get the item you want. And they cost money. That was predatory. Now, it wasn't pay to win, but it was the way they monetized it was predatory. And then they changed it so you can't get duplicates, which then made it, okay, this is just like an expensive way of giving you MTX. And what I'm saying is, having a big supporter pack thing, it's kind of crazy, bro. I wonder why they still do it for PoE 2. The 85 Q take. Well, how do you not understand? How do you not understand? It's like if fucking any game just allowed you to just spend infinite money versus having a fight. Okay, Terraria. Doesn't matter how much you like Terraria, you can only spend $5 on Terraria. Okay? Terraria, it doesn't matter how much, you can only spend $5. The dev could put in a thing where, oh, there's MTX for Terraria, and you spend $100 for this MTX, $200 for this MTX, $400 for this MTX, $500 for that MTX. Guess what? A bunch of people are instantly going to buy the $500 thing. People get straight away. You can do that. GG can make it any number. They can make it any number. Tax the rich. You gotta understand, most of these guys who are buying these big packs aren't necessarily rich. They're just very financially retarded, right? They're not rich. They're just idiots. Which is why I wonder why they don't put a lower cap on the biggest supporter packs, in my opinion. To me, I feel like 480 is kind of ridiculous. Hey, I'm totally fine with the supporter pack thing. I'm gonna buy the biggest one every time, regardless. If they set this biggest supporter pack at $1,000, I would still buy it, bro. I'm literally the person that they're taking advantage of. But 480 is just a bit high, and I feel like for PoE 2 they could have set a new standard. But then I don't know, maybe they're just like, all right, why would we change anything? They probably just don't want to change anything, right? I don't know. Elon Musk, guru. Is this relevant to? What? Okay, you're just banned, bro. You're just fucking banned for 7 days. What the fuck? It's not even related.
Until you've played the game for 50 or 60 hours, how much would you have paid to get a 50 or 60 hour game? I completely agree that to most people, a $480 early supporter pack is too much. Don't buy it. You don't need to. If you have that cash spare and you want to buy it, great, go for it. But you absolutely don't need it. I would say that a fair price for this game would at least be £40 to £60, which would probably be $50 to $70. If after playing it for 100 hours, you want an extra bank or you want some cosmetics, I think that's a fair amount of money to ask for the game that it's given you. That That's a lot of game. The reason it's not released yet is because they had to stop them adding features.
I mean, we were really keen to make sure that when we went into early access that people didn't feel like it was just, you know, limping along and kind of, you know, just like a minimal amount of content. We really wanted to kind of blow people away. So hopefully people feel like, yeah, there is enough content. Because yeah, it was certainly a mission to get all that stuff in.
Yeah, I did come here expecting that there would be, you know, maybe a basic mapping, placeholder end game, and your 3 acts, and you know, the half the classes. But
wait, because do you understand how? Do you guys understand how whale milking works? Do you understand how whale milking works? And do you understand why it's predatory? So do you know, chat? Do you know in mobile games? Do you know where the majority of income comes from? Do you want to know where the majority of income comes from?